you for coming to chat with us today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ro Mottsmith. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm a local Davis artist. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah. Okay, so our first question is what or who got you into art and when did you start making things?
Well, I started making art when I was really little. So my mom is an artist too, and she does clay art, and we always had that around. So I grew up, even when I was a little baby, she would just have me in a sling as she was in the studio. And so I grew up around clay and a lot of other art. So I always was around it, but then I didn't think it was something I could do as a career until about 5 years ago. So it took me a couple of decades or 3 decades to figure out that this was for me. So only about 5 years ago did I start doing it professionally.
Cool. Is it hard to come up with inspiration for your artwork?
It is. Sometimes it's easier than others, but I'm not one of the kind of people who just gets ideas. For me, I have to work at it. So the more I make things, the more ideas I get. So if I am feeling stuck, sometimes I'll just start doing something with my hands. I'll start drawing, I'll start working with clay, and then sometimes that gets the ideas flowing. The more I work, the more ideas I get.
Yeah. And what materials do you use when you make art?
So mostly I use paper. It's very simple, and I love this about my artwork because anyone can do it. You don't need very much materials. I use a cutting mat and paper and an X-Acto knife, and that's it. And some glue too, if I want to make layer things. But I just use kind of thick paper of a lot of different colors, and then I layer that up together.
Wow. Okay, so what's your favorite part of when you make art?
I really just love doing anything with my hands. So, with for me, there's kind of two parts. There's like the design process where I make the design and figure out what I actually want to draw and cut. And then there's the fabrication or the manufacturing process where I actually do the cutting. The design part I like, but I love the manufacturing process and just cutting and just consistently doing things with my hands. It feels very calming to me. So I really like doing that part.
Yeah. Are there challenges when you create your artwork?
Yeah, some of them, like we talked about before, is just coming up with the ideas of them. But sometimes also my artwork is very detailed and it's a lot of time cutting. And so sometimes one of the challenges is I just get a hand cramp and I
Uh,
have to stop for a little bit, but you get used to it a little bit. Um, but sometimes it's just physically hard. Like I get in the zone and I will spend, you know, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day just working.
wow.
And so some of the challenges I have to remember to get up and eat because I just get so focused. So it's some mental, some physical challenges.
Okay. What's your favorite piece of art that you've made?
I have a couple. So I brought one with me that I can show you. So this one I really like
Oh,
because I think
wow.
it's funny. Um, so it's a skeleton in a bathtub, and you can see all of these different pieces are paper that are layered on top of each other. And I think this one is funny because I like thinking of us all as little skeletons. I think it's funny to just think about as we go through our everyday lives, we're all just skeletons doing things. So I thought it was a little bit silly to have a skeleton just in a bathtub relaxing when it has nothing but bones to relax.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then I have one more question. So, if there was something that you wish I asked you today, what would that be?
Hmm. You asked really good questions. Let's see. Maybe I always like talking about how other people can get involved in art because I think art should be for everybody who wants to try it. So I guess if you asked me how can other people get involved in art, I would say just take whatever is near you. You don't need a big fancy setup. You can take paper and pens or scissors or whatever you want. And there's so much you can do with really simple materials. You don't need a whole lot of stuff to get started.
Okay. So, thanks for taking your time to meet with us. It was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for interviewing me.
Bye.
Bye.